Hey everybody, it's Dune back with another episode of Factorio Megabase. Last episode we added a new copper build to the north. It's kind of right above the previous one, so it's hard to say like northeast, but we just need more copper. We weren't getting enough to our circuit builds. So this one is providing copper to our circuits here, and green circuits, and this one to our red circuits and wherever else is needed. So while off stream, I kind of noticed I was not allowing trains to come into the blue circuit to pick up until, if you look over on the right hand side, M was 32K, and actually trains are blue chips hold 16K, so I was waiting unnecessarily long to enable a train to go in and pick up. That's been fixed. We're still, though, after all that, circuit trains are still kind of waiting. They just don't nearly have to wait as long. Technically it's roughly the same. We just had a minimum of 16K that just wasn't being used before a train could go in and pick up. But we just finished the copper build in the north. We probably need more copper ore, but right now we're pretty good in our old build. Old being like a week or two old. We just built it kind of recently. And this new one is kind of using a new design. It's a kind of a tree-shaped symmetrical routing. So, it's hard to tell right now how beneficial it is. See more use when we get, say, more trains backing up and how they're routed. It does have a negative, is trains can flow through that don't belong, because these outputs go straight out, and any train that wanted to go through could, and potentially sit here in the stacker, waiting to go in and unable to. And I am actually noticing that should be a chain signal there. I'm not quite sure how I missed that, but we will have to fix that at some point. Setting that, we'll make that blink, and we will have to have a look at it. I kind of also noticed that here we were missing a power pole, and so I've ghosted one there as well. So next time we're in the area, we're going to probably be back that way kind of frequently. I was also noticing kind of at the end of the stream yesterday that trains coming out this right side don't have a way to go down this track. They can come up and they can go down and skip, which was kind of the purpose, or make a right turn. Because I don't really want trains coming out and making a hard left, but for trains that want to go that way, they either have to come up and over and down, or they come all the way down here and over and then back up, because there are copper trains here. And I'm not quite sure what route they're taking to do that, but it will be something, it's not horribly necessary to take care of, but it'll be something we will maybe want to look at. The other kind of thing was this build here kind of is sitting on top of this ore field, so that all their bots are being shared in this greater mine, which actually is way down here. And as you can see, most of their bots are way down here. So like when a train shows up you're like, there's no bots sitting here. So once the train fills up, all those bots will have to fly back to refill these chests. Maybe we fix that by disconnecting these bots. So like maybe this mine only mines this guy out, and then after that we'll go back. Right now I've got this disconnected, so or it's only going into these 5 up here until this gets mined out, or at least much depleted. So that's another reason to visit that. I think it's a good idea to maybe disconnect this and then go get all the bots. I also had an idea, like while I was offline, so maybe adding logistic bots, 100 logistic bots as a sort of a permanent add to my character, so I don't keep forgetting to take bots with me if I want to start a new mine. I have everything else to start a new mine. I've always just, I would say I have more of the mindset of a belt-based mine than a robotic one. But the robotic ones are better UPS friendly, or so I've been informed. Supposedly belts did have a big upgrade to where their UPS was not nearly as problematic. One of the old things you would do to mitigate belts problems was to put as much of it underground as possible. But you can just tell by me coming in here and where the belts are, it's let's see, yeah, actually doesn't seem to affect anything. I don't know, but the advantage of bots though is kind of in an interesting way big. When you're feeding a belts based build, I'm sure I got a few of these around still, is, you feed these in and you need a splitter to get them sort of evenly across to each of the chests. With bots, they literally will go one and then this one and then this one and this one all the way across before they'll allow another bot to fill that one. And so it's completely even, like you don't need splitters, the bots just do it all for you. I kind of like this design I came up with for double-sided loading of a train. Any extra ore that's not caught by these inserters flows through to the backside and then comes through and is routed this way. And then say like these chests were full, well, they would come to this one and then flow this way and work their way down, or work their way the other way. It's an interesting design, but it's kind of cool, I think. But I don't know. I was told bots are more UPS friendly, and I think I've kind of found that. So as I remove belts based builds, my UPS seems to go up, where the bot based ones, yes, of course they use some circuits, but they don't, for some reason, don't require or not circuits like the circuit network, but the UPS computer code. Just seems like bots are more efficient. Anyways, I have some problems in the south with our green circuit build. I think one of the solutions is to build out the other two bays here and here. Hopefully that doesn't overshoot this guy. I mean, if it does, well then I don't think we have much choice about it. I guess we can kind of grab this. And then just kind of hold that over this. And it looks like it's going to go right. We don't have a choice. It's just going to clobber that. At least by a little bit. Of course, we could just do one side. I mean, one of the key issues, of course, is getting enough materials. If these don't have enough materials, it really doesn't matter whether we have, extra bays or not. So one of the things also we've been talking about is you know, building another iron outpost. I kind of like to do that right here. I think this is the right spot for it, kind of like we're doing right with this one. Except for there's just all this beautiful ore I like to get up. Of course, hey, right across this lake. I mean, I've seen people make, you know, their mega bases and they just build across lakes. Because this guy, I mean, even though he does have quite a bit of material in hand, it's kind of far away. You know, we're sending ore. One of the things, you know, was the problem with the old ore builds here was ore had to come all the way in, be processed, and then both the ore and plate trains head back out. So you had double set of trains kind of flowing through there, and that's kind of what this guy is having issues with. It's just the plate trains. We can keep adding more trains to supplement that. And of course we'll probably start off with some of that. But I've already added several so far. We can look. We have 3, 6, 9, 10 iron trains, 2 copper. Well, only 8, which you would think we would have more issues with copper since it's a 1.5 to 1 ratio. But that's again distance. Copper's right here. It's literally unloading and coming right in. Where iron is several spaces away, lots of train problems, and anytime train have problem routing, they'll take an even longer path to try to make their way to their destination. Suppose an ideal place would be here as well. We just have so much going on there. That's why I think this one would be good or slash advantageous. So if we do the build, I think this is going to get clobbered. That will probably get clobbered. If we just bring it in kind of the same way we doing here. I always debate about this. Like, what's the right way to go? Do we just kind of watch things, add some trains? We can start by adding some jump-ups. Let's, this one's iron load southeast. Okay, well, we do have this new iron build, like, way over here. The track is, you know, I mean, at least to right this intersection, it's pretty clear. This part is a little busier. This can be quite a bit. We can look at this build. How are we doing? We have quite a bit on hand as well. Well, we could add a couple. We'll add one of those. Send that one, and then we'll add one to this build. Oops, let's copy that train. So that's not the train we want. We need to now copy that again. That's this one still, yeah. Okay, well, now we kind of wait till those trains take effect. you know, because it'll take a while, you know, but more materials flowing in should help. I did want to, and I suppose we can address that, really it's not going to take much debate, is go to the Iron South station and fix their loading, unloading principles. Currently it's set to my old way of doing the average. If a outpost is greater than average, then it allows a train to go in and pick up. But if it's less than average, ore is allowed to unload, except for if there's enough ore trains to fill each bay, then the trains can go in. Well, I kind of dislike that old method. I kind of like just first come, first serve. Like, if a bay's open, allow a train to go in and unload. And if a outpost has enough to be picked up, allow a train to go in and pick up. Period. So what it does mean is kind of like the ones at the end. They get less ore trains coming to them, but at the same time, they also have less trains picking up. Theoretically. And one of the advantages is this train being really close to our base, our center base. I call it the base, but the whole thing's technically a base. Is that we get there pretty fast. Alright, so we need to go over and or get the circuits for that. So we can look at the pickup station. Okay, well, we're gonna still disable if the train. So we read T from the station, and we multiply times -1, and I'll put that as E. So it becomes a negative E, which far outweighs. So like the train number is 4 million something. This is now outputting negative 4 million E. So no matter, this is outputting E of 1, and this is outputting nothing because it's not yellow. So, you know, our outpost is E's greater than 0 enabled. So our negative E here disables. And that's all we want. So we're going to grab that. We're going to have to change that from copper to iron plate. Well, in this case, iron ore. In fact, this one won't even have most of this. This will only have, not going to do that one. We're only going to do this one. If there's a train, turn it off. Otherwise, have it open. Might leave the lights alone. We did do a nice, beautiful light situation. I might already be doing this. Well, at least I started maybe doing this. No, this is still reading average. See, this is saying if 1 is greater than average, output E. And then this is taking care of light. Has also a negative number constant. It's the train. This is saying if it's greater than average, enable. And then this is saying if it's also greater than M, enable. And M being minimum. And that's really all we care about, is if the train's greater than minimum. So I'm going to drop that in that. So we still need the green wire from this for the lights. I really kind of doubtful if this is truly needed. Because, in fact, I don't think it is. The only thing we care about if in this case iron ore, or iron plate actually, is greater than M. And M is 17K, but we got to wire that in. It's on the green circuit. Let's bring it in from this power pole. And then we also want to output E back to this. Okay, that should be red. This should be E greater than 0. We don't need to send it a train. So we just need the couple power poles. Don't need inserters or roboports. Technically, we don't even really need the track. We can remove a few pieces. And we can go down and let's look at the. So this is load. Does unload need something? This is just that. So yeah. So we're just care about the train being turned off, or the station being turned off when there's a train. And then it should turn back to green when the train leaves. Actually, I'm not sure what it will do. Yeah. Technically, let's see what happens. That might still be red. Yeah. This one. Okay, so the color is red 2, green of 1. So if E is less than or equal to 0, output. I think we want that to be the same as the station. E is greater than 0. No, I think it's just less than 0. I think it's less than 0 because when a train's there, it'll be a negative number, and then it'll be red. Or kind of maybe even better. Actually, it is getting. We just can read the. We're reading the signal. If so, I'm going to say each. That's not going to work. So it's going to wire in that directly. We won't do that. We'll just do. We want it to be red. So when red greater than 0. Output that, which will make the light red. We'll have to do some copy and pasting with that. I suppose we need to paste it over there. And likewise there. Oh, that one's probably not right yet. this wasn't big enough. Need to wire in the chest as well. So actually, we need that. No robo ports. I need that. That. Right? Yep. Oh, now it's wired to that chest. It's wired up correctly, good. One of the things I keep forgetting is that needs to be wired. Actually it doesn't. Because we're doing is reading the signal. Where were you headed? Power unload. Why are you disabled? Send a train, no. Read. E is greater than equal to 0. Because the only time it's not going to be enabled is when the trains are in. That's when it's a negative number. All it's red as it should be. And it should stay red, but as soon as it leaves, green. Good job. I can paste that into, depending on reach, yeah, okay. And I'm going to grab this again. And I might be able to reach this one. Yep. Verify these other ones are all like that. Yep. Yep. Suppose we could set these all to the same. What these used to do, okay, this is saying if ore is greater than or equal to n, open up the bay. That means if there's enough ore trains equal to the number of train bays, then enable. Don't disable if the train's on the way, and so had to have that because the average fluctuates. And it could go less than the amount in the bay, and then therefore the bay would get disabled while the train was trying to pull in. The station would disable and the train would be halfway in, the train would stop and start no pathing. So as long as the entrance light wasn't green, in other words, the train was either on the way in or, like might have been, like say partway here, it hadn't turned red yet. So either yellow or red, keep the train or keep the station enabled. Of course, once the train parked, well then we don't care about that part. So that's what that guy did. And then this was checking if it was greater than average, then enable. And this is the train one. And then this was also reading the train number. And if it was greater than, then it was adding that train to the stacker, as if it were in the stacker, so we could include it in the count. So it's pretty interesting. We're not using it anymore though. This method is so much simpler. This one just says if there's enough stuff in the chest, enable. Actually, kind of surprised they're saying load. Because 334 times all these is really only 16K. M should be 16K. Oh. I guess it's reading everything. It's reading all that. Right, because this is outputting on the red wire. That red is that count from the row reports is being added to the chest. So that works the same thing. There you go. I like this method also better because I can see from the map view, like all the way up here, like all these stations are enabled. That means there's enough to supply right now 7 trains. Of course, there's 1 train parked in there, so it's not a complete accurate number, but it does give me a good idea of how this station's doing, just at a glance. And it also, we need to fix these. It was greater than equal to 0 or vice versa. We need these to be able to greater than equals 0, right? And not just greater than 0. So, Commander Root, if you're in here, thanks for the follow yesterday. Sorry I had pushed a talk on, and I forgot to push the talk when you followed, and I said thanks for the follow. So, anyways, thanks again. I kind of see you in channel, so thanks once again. Alright, that's a little simple maintenance thing. We should probably head up to that other copper build. It's not horrible that I don't have those signals right, but I can fix it. Not really doing anything else. Thinking this didn't have a way to get onto there, but it does. Just goes there. From that other stacker. Yeah, that one has a chain signal. That one didn't. For some reason, I mean, I knew this, so I must have just when I put that across, I forgot. Let's head back. Well, I guess we're already on our way. So we ought to do some more solar. Been wondering what to do with these two areas. We definitely do solar in them. Should look at coal, how coal's doing. It's hard to, one of the things that's hard to tell is how many coal sites are active. Just at a glance, like that one's not. This uranium 4 needs a decon bot. I was also thinking I might disable or turn off couple of these trains. I really don't use much nuclear. In fact, I'm about to disable nuclear permanently. This might all get ripped up. I got so much of this stuff on hand. Uranium 235s. Steel needs some work. For some reason, steel's backed up. Not quite sure why. Probably could use a separate build. I think a new build I would go with the direct iron ore into steel. Even though it probably takes a little bit longer. You don't have to keep routing trains so much. Over here, let's oh yeah, we want to also fix that where the bots are. fix that. Or do we have chain signals before the stackers? Yes. Alright. Theoretically, that could help as a, maybe not so much these two, but as a train accelerates, it would help the next train in line get going. I like this. Kind of looks like a long hair of somebody. I don't know how well it's going to work long run, but it's neat because none of these, like my other builds, like this one, you know, a train comes in, and it's kind of like, well, is this one? Well, maybe this one. And, you know, 3 bays share the same track on both sides. Or are these all, like, they split and split, and you know, once it's past this, it can it's no longer blocking the other lanes in. So like as soon as it's past this signal, you know, all the other ones are available, not just the other half. So I'm going to remove that guy. I don't think I need this power line through here. Wondering how much I need this guy. Guess I need it a little bit. Also, something I was thinking of doing is, I mean, because these outposts, this exit lane and this entrance lane are kind of near each other. We could make this entrance lane like over here or something, kind of bring it through. I mean, those trains are going that way anyways. Except for to make these trains go, well, there shouldn't be any trains coming from this direction. All this should be sort of northwest trains. I don't know, it's a thought. I don't know, do I have enough to pick up 1,000 bots? Really don't. Send my train to Copper Ore 69. Construction out there. 14 more. station. No path. This might be a little difficult. Yeah, not technically terribly challenging, I suppose. I just forget I can just make my own track. Hey, Rain. Really appreciate the host. Thank you, everybody. How are you guys doing? Oh, I'm gonna turn on my bots. I'm pretty new to streaming. I don't know what all that means. But I do appreciate it. And welcome, of course. That bot's gonna get left behind. Sorry, bot. It's alright, I'm not going far. They'll catch up. Alright. You'll be able to see that and that. Dink. So it's 800. That's 1,000. Oops, there's my bot. So for those just joining, we've been, which that blinking light reminds me I need to go up there. This iron or copper mine was attached to this copper mine, and when I built this bay, all my bots flew off. Started working this, so I wanted to detach that, and just did, and had to get its bots back. And switch to a little faster armor. Doesn't do bots so nearly well. Oops, train coming in. Let's not run into trains. We just need to run up here and stick a power pole in. I was thinking I could do it remotely later, but we're here. Dink. Come on, bot. Come on, come on, come on. You do it. I'm faster than him. Sounds like I'm skipping. Okay, kind of run out of pet projects I needed doing. Well, this is backed up a little bit. I don't know. It keeps up with those 3 trains pretty easily. I do need to think about steel. What is the solution to this? I think I should just build another steel mill somewhere down here. I just kind of need to look. Okay, well, actually, easy way to do that. Who uses steel? Well, look at the steel trains. We got engines unload, electric furnaces, low density structures, the big one. And then our main base has 2 trains. SP is solar panels. It's kind of crazy, like how it's not really that many trains. 6, 9, 12 whole trains. And all this can't keep 12 full. It is a little nutsoid. I mean, technically we could probably add, you know, maybe another 4 bays right here. Well, let's start heading back to base first. I don't have another steel or another furnace setup to rip up, so we'd have to grab all that as well. I am kind of curious if we kind of did a tree-like design for steel. I mean, it would have to be narrower. I mean, this was my first one. I didn't know how much space I was really thinking I was going to need. I mean, for 8 bays, we could do something like this. Really, that's actually kind of wide. We'd have to a little more compact like this one, you know, like so let me do the ghost track as well as I'd like, you know, kind of in here or something, because we don't need signals once it's got past the split. That is something actually really good point. We don't need signals, so you don't have to save room for signals. Like this could be done. I'm just gonna hop out. Let's look at that again. We have one in, right? One. And we're just trying to save space. Could do something like so. We'll do 3. I don't know, I kind of like more of an even approach. I suppose that was using 3 off as well. This could do a... kind of that approach. And that's 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then it's not as binary. This is the way my north build is. It's like this. Problem is, That's how that is, right? I suppose I could just copy it, blueprint it. Just see if I can make it a little more compact. That. Because we're going to need, if we're going to convert this, technically can't be any wider than this. It's got to fit within that. Now if we do the center lane as open, kind of we'd still start with that, I suppose. That's going to be the same thing. I'm going to have to add at least one section. I suppose I'm looking at the same thing as again, but this one, so this goes like so. This one can go straight. See if we can do that one. Hey, Asus, thanks for the follow. That actually looks pretty good. The problem is we do need at least one signal in there. Because, whoops, we'd want a chain signal there, but we also want a chain signal. Otherwise, well. Hey Boyd, and actually, I do have a successful build of it, but yeah, I'm trying to adapt it to my steel build without having to tear up my steel build. So I have this steel build, and I only have this much space. So I'm trying to adapt it, and that line and that line are my borders. So I can't go wider than that. But kind of do that one. Problem is we can't get a signal in between, but might not necessarily need to, because these outer ones will feed in, you know, to a bay sooner. And so we could get a, you know, signal in there. Problem is I need 8 lanes, and this is 3, 6, 7. This one actually has an extra space. Could go like that, but then, well, could do a signal there. So we have that same problem. Something ugly like that is possible, maybe. Trouble is, you know, track. Maybe another option. Let's do that again. So maybe starting this side, kind of like you do with a stacker. As you split. Two, three, four, five. So you can't, you're going to have some overlap. I mean, how many lanes is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So maybe with some ingenuity, but you could literally do it like this, and you could have 12 lanes. The problem is there's no signal, so you're it's just an issue. I mean, you do like that. Interesting idea I just kind of maybe had. So what if you do you have maybe your initial one and it splits out like so. And that one. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's curious. It's definitely curious. You know, you could, I don't want to erase that, but you can merge these down below. And you don't have to cross them right here. Maybe you cross this a little further south so you can get 4 lanes that are also independent. And then they would have to cross like you could do, except for I don't think you can get a train through there because of that signal. I was thinking you could do this. I don't know. I'd like to do it. I mean, maybe I tear up a row, a little bit of processing, get a little bit more room, but I think I could reasonably get 4. That's 4 is reasonable. But getting another 4 seems problematic. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I think I'll just have to plan for trees for the future, but I think another 4 build, and then we'll tree that one in. This one here is good, and you can have a, say maybe an exit lane down the middle. It just means trains crossing, but not a horrible situation. We are going to need a blueprint. I am going to go with iron ore. In again. So, a bunch of stuff to collect. We could go 2 at a time. Let's see, we need 108 for 1. That's 200 and say 20. That's fine. We'll just have a little extra. We need 600 and 400. 7. Give me a 400 productivity. Speed modules we're a little behind on. 600 inserters, but I carry 100 myself, so 550. And I don't carry as many of that as well. Probably ought to have that up a little bit. Chest, 300 of each. Lots of power poles. Roboports. And we're filled. Everything else we can bring with us as part of our normal inventory. Can get rid of some miners. I was thinking I was going to set up some mining, but didn't end up doing so. Get rid of some deciders. Those are pulled out of the iron facility we modified earlier. Keep the stone track. We are going to need a whole ton of beacons, so we can start doing that. Starting to get our speed modules back. We needed 600, right? Yep. We need 300 beacons. Here we got our speed modules. Stackers, we needed like 600, right? 550. That's our 550, yep. Chests, we needed 300 of each. less than a full stack of providers in there. All right. Power poles, I know we need more of. Beacons. We're going to need 2,000 bots. $1,000 for each build. Also gonna need some stations. How are we doing on beacons? 154. We're definitely just grab all those. And it's 280. 300. All those back in. So we have our chests, modules, beacons, inserters, roboports. One, two, three. That's the roboports we need. Power poles. We have 100, right? So I think we just needed another 50 in there. I feel a little safer with more, but we can hand make them if we need them. So I think we're kind of done. We just need our I suppose we can stick a stack in there, and if the bots give me more power poles, then that's great. Then we need some track. So pick up a carload of track. Disconnect that one. Moves forward. If we get past that light and all these inserters work, and we're good. Yep. Okay. We are going to need to start some new iron ore trains. But not until after we build another 2 more furnace setups. So we could head to our steel station. But I want my train down here. So we're actually going to head to SLIO unload. It stands for steel iron ore unload. Steel. And we just go there. Dink. Good. Let's add another train onto that. Let's go a little faster here. So I like this design. We're going to go with it for our steel build. We're going to grab that. This one is for 6 lanes. And we need one for 8. So we might instead do this guy. fugly, I guess, but we're also talking about going to uranium. I'm actually going to hop out on my train and go do that. My train can't actually get into steel right away. Big old lake. Can't surf it. My bots are going to go nuts here, though. Oh, might as well let them. Alright, so we need a construction bot here. And a storage chest. And that construction bot will pick up the little pieces. My train's still in here. Hey. Come on. Oh, stop. I went in there first. Let's move you back into place. Alright. We can separate from the pack. Whoops. Alright, well, technically speaking, I mean, this one loader is keeping, I mean, because iron ore takes a while to basically get processed. I don't really if I need that whole tree split thing. Of course, once I get this thing built, I really can't go back. Kind of got to start here at the end. We're kind of fit it this way. Going to need our other power armor. Okay, so one of these guys, roughly, if we include the exit lanes together, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of copping out on my idea. The signals here are going to be all wrong. That's going to be an exit lane. Oh, shoot. Actually, I don't know. See, those robo ports are connecting. It's too close. I didn't even look at that when I put it down. So we need to get rid of some wood. And apparently some fuel. Suppose we can bring our train a little closer. So I stole some bots. I'm gonna have to fix those as well. These always seem so much bigger once you're going to tear them up. So, actually, apparently I'm full again. Get rid of some iron ore. Actually, I need to get rid of some more trees. And I always forget I can't do that. The bots will pick up the iron ore from me. Like if I stand up here, bots will take the iron ore from me if it's in my trash slot. Actually, even if it's not in my trash slot, I don't know. It's probably working off the trash slot. It just fills up my trash slot instantly. I don't know where I'm standing compared to that train coming out. So double check I'm not. Gonna run over. Okay, so Who lost some bots? You lost 10 and you lost several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. You need 92 more, and that's 92 right there. Alright, let's try that again without crossing. See all those yellow lines? I don't know why I didn't look at them before, but... something like that. These track are semi-right, except for they're backwards. Like this is supposed to go flowing out that way. Guess we'll just collect these signals since they're broken and or backwards. So this is supposed to be this way. That's an exit. And instead of going this way, it should be like so. Once we get this station set up, we can duplicate it for the other ones. Then it will be like that. There'll be a similar story down at the bottom. We're going to need more track for that though. Let's get our train up on that, and then we can rip up behind us. Actually, let's put our train on the exit row. Bots work. Thank you. I suppose I could have done it myself. Alright. Where you go? Bunch of angry bees following me. If you're not familiar with this setup, each of these RoboPort setups, bot networks, are actually separate from each other. So that's why I had to rip this up and start again. That way all the bots you put in here stay within here. And they don't travel from one set to another. That way when a train arrives, the bots can just pop out of the RoboPorts and get to work. They don't have to travel all the way across the... I mean, can you imagine if all the bots were up here and they had to come all the way down here and then all the way over here and then all the way back here and back and forth, and they never get anything done. Bots are great short range. They suck long range. power signals in there afterwards, but that'll get things going. This blueprint, well, we're going to be erasing it, so who cares? Alright, so we need half of those, half of those, half of those, and half of those. Half the beacons. We get all our chests. Brought 300 of each. They're going to go down already? Or did I not put them in the trains? I thought I put them in the trains. I know I put them in the trains. I'm not sure. Somehow they're missing, I think. I don't know, bots. We're missing a ton of chests. What happened? Are they still on the train? No, it's saying there's 50 and 25. Where'd they go? I know I put 300 of each. Oops. Did I somehow leave the car back here somewhere? It's mind-boggling. I brought 300 of each provider and requester chests. I don't know. Don't have them. I could create a handful, but it's not going to cover it. What about power poles, inserters? I can take which ones we have. So I can tell we got most everything else set up. Alright, well, let's set up another one with what we got. And we'll just have to, on our next trip, bring a lot more chests. connecting. Redo that again. Power poles. See this one? Actually, this one side doesn't have one. You always want these. Can't quite tell. This is always put that like that. Measure it against the track. See if it's in the right place. It's not. That way, when you go to link these together, you grab the power poles on both sides. They connect straight across. Let's put that down again just to be sure. Yeah. Which one I'm looking at anywhere. Let's just do it again. See, you can see the poles are lined up in the middle because they're blue. They're green or red. Green, they're new. Red, they're not going to get placed as you think they will be placed. So we should be able to just grab all the rest of those things. Oh shoot, I grabbed all the wood. Not all the wood. Actually, I didn't grab any wood. Or I went in my trash slot. Grab the fuel. Put a provider chest somewhere and stick it in there. I don't know, I guess I'll look at my video later and see I didn't bring enough chests. I thought I did, but I thought I brought enough inserters too, but I feel like I'm short on them too. I don't get that. I know I had 550. Usually it's just chests. 200 and some short of each. A little bit of track, but I have the track. There's nothing to pick up there. I figured there would be some empty miners, but there weren't. guess we got a bunch of bots we can put down. Let's put 100 in there for a second. I have to think about this. Guess you guys need some power to be able to give me a count of how many bots are in there. In there, 1,000 over here yet? You guys done counting already? It's all got power. Come on. All right, 1,000 watts, 1,000 watts. All right. I guess. Station in here. I don't want it all the way down there though. Call that temp. Will exit out here, so we might as well just do that. Yeah, so we can pick up some things. Drop that train, this track train off. We need to bring another one. Not quite in time. Stop. Train, where are you going? You usually avoid busy intersections, but it's going to be an interesting, because I'm going to have to bring these steel trains across. Depending on, this is off by basically that width. So I had that much width. the end of this. I'm going to have to come in like this or something. Alright, well, chests. I know I grabbed like all those chests. What happened to them? Boggles me mind. 400 productivity. 5, 6, 7, 8. And speed module we'll need to catch up on. We need furnaces. 2, 3, 4, and F. What do we need? 300 beacons. Bunch of power poles. It's actually way too many. No, I need 600. Need 600. Really 550, I think, right? Yep. That's 550. Chess. That's 600 speed, 400 beacons, 550 inserters. We're going to need like 500 of each chest. That's 500 for the provider chests. I'm going to go with an extra 50 just because I don't have a totally accurate count. Actually, it shows down here what we're missing. So an extra 50 of each won't hurt. Plus what we're supposed to be carrying with us. Alright, that's a lot of freaking chests. How are we doing on beacons? Not full. 300 beacons, right? Alright, 300 beacons, 200 some furnaces, 4 power poles, 50 roboports, 2,000 watts. Alright, so I'll start at the beginning. 550 inserters. We got the modules, chests, 300 beacons, furnaces, power poles, roboports. Everything else should be good. We might this time take stuff for another set of trains, but I'm gonna just hold off on that. I think we're ready to go. Back up our train, onto our extra train. Blue chips. Not a happy sight. 5 train cars waiting. Copper's doing good, but not iron to the circuit build. Iron actually has a sort of a bad flow now. We've got this. It's adding extra trains to this. But this is the iron build that most of this is coming from. We could send some iron from over here. Where are our iron trains? This one's going to iron load 3, iron load 3, iron load 5s. And the rest are iron load northwest. Ooh, one's going to iron load south. Let's change you to iron load northeast. Okay, iron load 3 and iron load 5. This is at west 2 and northwest 2. And west 2. That's probably iron load 3. How's this doing? It's okay. it is wearing out. Probably use some more. I was planning on tapping these at some point. It's not doing bad. I mean, it's got 50%. It's just those trains go a long way to get there. From up here to all the way down there. I think I could do better with that iron. I think that iron would go better down here, but not a whole lot better. Actually, it's hard to say, but it's not hurting anything. Other than it's a long way to go for this distance so far. These were attempts to sort of, pre-process the iron. I mean, they are big patches. Theoretically, it works. I mean, those trains don't have to offload iron ore. But we are kind of hurting for iron up here. Iron load 5 is northwest 2. That's probably this guy here. Same situation. A little better flow. That will run out at some point too. It's at like 63 million right now. Over that. Alright, trains. Yeah. Actually, I want to get my train up, inched up a little bit, so it blocks the signal. Actually, let's move this train too. Actually not, never mind, we got a train pulling out. That's sort of in preparation of bringing that other track through there for steel trains. Don't really want to go too far. Okay, we need a 10 of these chests. Not all of them. Did we run out of any? Nope. Alright, bots, you'll just have to catch up. The thing about bots, they might go into slow power mode, but they don't ever stop. Pull up all them suckers. Tried to pick him up. Didn't work. Alright, well, we can set the next one down. The power pole's right. We should be good. And got a problem with track to the right. This is not going to work. Or we just go with 3 bays, which also is not ideal, but I wish I didn't have to hand charge bots. Really slows down the fun. Here's a mod I want to try out. It's called, I forget what it's called honestly, but I have it as a thing on my, it's called Better Bots Technologies. It's, where's my, oh. Better Bots technology basically allows you to do infinite research on bots. The only thing I wish it had, which it doesn't, is higher, carrying capacity. I don't know, it might break, or it might, I don't know, I mean, bots are already pretty OP. I don't know about OP. I mean, like I've said before, they're really great short distance for a build like this. Kind of short distance. But when a bot's got to travel even way over here and back, that's actually pretty slow. Like you see my bot's traveling all the way down here to build stuff. It's pretty slow. I mean, I suppose it's faster than maybe getting a piece of ore all the way back this way, but you just add in greater distance and they just get weaker and weaker. There's also another train mod I'd like to try. I think it's called like Train Logistics or something like that. Logistic Train Network. Yeah, I'd like to try that. I probably won't. This base is pretty big to switch up anything major. What am I missing here? I was missing more beacons, wasn't I? Oops. Alright, so we can do something to maybe get this other bay in here. And then, so we can maybe build it down here or further. And just kind of make our track a little squirrely. Or come up with a better way of getting, I mean, theoretically, we might want a bigger, how many iron ore trains we got coming, trains we got coming here, 3, 6, 9, 11. And how big's our stacker? We got 4 loading bays, plus maybe 1 there, 5. I'm not going to count that, let's just count the chain signals, 13. So we got enough for all the trains currently. But if we wanted to add some way of I'm just going to go with, we're going to do that. Technically this is an exit lane, so we don't need that. So actually this isn't bad. This actually works perfectly. We just have to put, actually, get rid of those rail signals. This part, we're not going to need that. I think any mod that's sort of infinite for me now is kind of I mean, my research is so high that I'd get pretty much anything pretty fast. I out of stations, I am craft a handful. beacons. I don't know. But I am. Alright, well, let's do bots. Thousand. And 1,000 there. We need to label these, but we can pretty much start these. Fact. Grab the outpost names. And we literally can get them going. Some of these trees, though. Dr. X from at least looks like Czechoslovakia. Thanks for the follow. I don't know if that's what the CZ means, but so we need to, actually I probably could have left that. Need to get fuel. To these. Oops, not and. Set that to 10. Depending on where the fuel comes from. Where is the fuel coming from? Right there. Comes down across here, right? So technically, I suppose we should be feeding it. Where am I standing? Across there. So it should probably feed this way. How are the RoboPort networks here? There's 2 spaces. Is fine. So we do RoboPort there. And we request chest rope. Long arm inserter. Just do that. That. Put that there. We might as well connect signals. Change these. Just do it that way. That train can't leave because of my train. What's blinking down here? Oh yeah, beacons. Can I handcraft any beacons? 5. Yeah, let's make 5. but we need to send it the other way. And you gotta hand me some steel. Get rid of that. A lot more signals in here. Actually, don't need that one. There's only one train exiting right there. This one's blinking. So that one doesn't really work. Can't put it there though. Technically, we just rely on this signal back there for that. So we just need a few more beacons. We also need to connect our steel modes and name our stations. How much track do I got? Not that much. Grab some track. And we'll start down here. Oh, and we also need to same thing we did here, so we'll rely on that for that one. Suppose we can do that. Make it so a train can come in sooner. Guess we can do the exit first. train hitting me. There's no way for a train to get here currently. That's right, I made a handful of beacons, didn't I? It's not going to be this. Eh. We got to be able to get something like this. That's horrible. I'm going to track crossing on possible streets. It's just all a curve. There's one street there, which indicates you can get this a little closer this way. Ought to be able to anyways. I guess not. So we can get a signal there. Get a signal there. Can we get this tracked across through the middle of that? No. Well, we can do that. I guess we can cross through this one. That. We did that, except signals will be on this side. Suppose we can hook in right here. That's steel pickup, right? Yeah. It's rather ugly, but so we're going to need more iron ore trains. We have enough bots to do one. One station. We could probably do 2 trains at it. Oops. Want a little bigger one if we want to do a couple trains. Let's do there. SE1 2 north. plus. We don't have all these named. In fact, I named that the wrong thing. This is supposed to be that. And these are, that's supposed to be steel. Well, at least we did kind of mess it up. There wouldn't have been a funny we didn't actually, well, steel train I guess could have gotten there, but thankfully didn't route there. All right. Oh, I suppose one other thing. All these stations are named the same thing. So ZYXW is name UV. Let's make sure we're not messing up signals. ZYXWV UTS. As long as we don't WVUTS, as long as we don't put that T against a train's name, we'll be fine. So this is S. T. Hey, there's some iron ore. Could make these use it. Might as well put it closer to the bots. There's some iron ore right there too. Not gonna do that one. What are you requesting? Plate? It's too bad. Because I would stick that, maybe direct insert that, yeah, why not? It's a bigger patch than just that. Technically, you could put another one right there. Do that. That up and do Someday we'll have to go fix that, but any more bonuses? There's a nice bonus up there. Except for this is not taking iron ore there. Anyways, we are renaming these. Right, this one's named T, U, and V. Alright, now we should have a little more accurate count of supplies on hand. Stop moving so we get fuel all the way down here. Looks like it. It's not my train. You guys are patiently waiting for me. It's missing out on beacons. Just a couple. I swear that train just came in and pulled right back out. I don't know. Where does she go? Iron ore 95. Oops. Northeast 1, 2 west. Northeast 1, 2 west. It's this guy here. Does he have it disabled? No. He'd load up. No problem. So we don't really need to go all the way in. All the way down, I mean. Slow down. Oh boy, slow down. We're a little short on signals in here. That's part of my old track. Power poles are on the side. Oh, taking my wood from me. Rats. I used to have all my rail signals one whole train length apart. It's fine for a track that's not used very frequently, but for trains that track and not fear for your life. Or on either side of the track. What's this track? Nothing. Nothing, honey. It's probably an old outpost of some kind. I bet it was a really old artillery outpost. But for some reason, never got completely cleaned up. This could actually be a stone outpost too at some point. Or whatever. Alright. Thank you. Reports. I'm going to need to move one of those in, or construct one, which I probably can't do. I've constructed enough things already. Let's add this DR before I forget. Then I have 50 bots. Must be on my train still. Well, if I'm going to make a... Let's do that. Have a in-place stacker. And step. Can he make a storage chest? Guess we can't do that. But I think we can start our 2 trains. If I got the supplies for that, probably got supplies for 1. I'll do the other one when we get back to base. Alright, this place needs a name and a radar. Think about right there was where we need to be. Could just make you run on wood for a little bit. I got nuclear fuel on my train. You need a name. Southeast 1, 2 north. Let's just sort of copy you. Put you in there. Whoops. And rename you to or 115. And you're going to copy that. Put you on automatic. I'm gonna do that. Right. Now I think I should just leave that or else signal. Or chain signal. Alright. Back to base. What's this guy doing? Still hosting 2 trains, but not a whole lot of ore left. Boy, and yes, I turned off biters last week, maybe the week before. I just needed the extra couple UPS that biters were. In role-playing game terms, I made peace with them. It helped a little bit. Helping more was removing all my defenses. Nuclear fuel is faster. It takes rocket fuel to make nuclear fuel. So I got to remove all my artillery outposts and all my lasers. I had lasers all along here. All along here. All the way around. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see my video called Removing Defenses, something like that. That's where I did that. And I actually used the cheat creative mod, because going through and blowing up, you know, putting artillery shells into chests and then shooting them just didn't sound like a lot of fun. So I loaded up the creative mod for that instant deconstruct, which is kind of a thing you can do. So when you drag it, instead of Xing something with decon, oops, of course, my bots are we're fast on that, but otherwise it would just zap it with instant decon. So adding 2 new trains to supply basically 4 outposts is really not going to do it. We're going to need to do more. This patch probably could really handle more than 2 trains. It would just probably need more bots. So let's with that kind of in mind. So go give it a handful more bots. Do the same thing for another spot. How do you turn off miters mid-game? I also threw the creative mod. I'm not positive I recorded that, but I mean, I suppose briefly I can show you. Let's save this game. Actually, nah, that would require me quitting the game out. Redo mods, but it's a mod like any other mod, creative mod. It allows you to really cheat or change settings, so you don't have to enable the cheat mode. In fact, you don't want to if you're gonna save the game. So don't enable cheat mode, but it does allow you to change a lot of the default settings. So one, you have to turn off spawning. In fact, I'm actually using a mod called Biters Be Gone just to be sure. Removes all biters, because when I went to remove all defenses, I couldn't allow even one biter to come in and start chewing on things, because it's literally like, for me to go from the bottom of my map to the top to respond to biter attacks would just be incredibly difficult. They would eat so much stuff by the time I got all the way across the map. So I've got the mod Biters Be Gone, plus I disabled just pretty much everything. You know, they're spreading, they're respawning, they're, you know, everything. I might even set them to friendly just in case, you know. And then I removed all my defenses. That helped my UPS, 3 or 4 points. I didn't get rid of everything. I kind of kept this one for fun. I mean, if you look at how many kills this is, 23,000, 22,000, 20,000. I mean, this is just like 100,000 kills right here. Or more. Like just in this one little chokehold. It was pretty amazing. I didn't even have to put a RoboPort in here to keep these things healed. It's just this incredible choke point. The biters came from over here and just got slaughtered on these lasers. You should have, oh, and at one point I disabled pollution as well. I don't have pollution anymore. And that also saved my UPS. I hated disabling that because that actually kind of really disabled biters more than actually removing biters. Because without pollution, they don't attack you. They only attack if you attack them. Well, I suppose they would attack you because I had expansion on. But it was a whole lot less than when you have them being aggroed by pollution. I tried to use the recycling mod, but I just couldn't. I mean, it worked a little bit, but it didn't help me ultimately. So what I'm aiming to do, let's just go to a big patch of iron, if I can find one over here. And the neat thing about disabling it is literally I could drive out to one of these spots. Now, there's actually a decent sized patch right there. I don't have to. Whoa, check this baby out. Man, big old patch. Not quite after that quite yet, but that looks pretty neat. Jeez. I've been mining that forever. That's over 300 million for me. I say we go after that baby. That's 40 million. So this doesn't have a waypoint, so we'll have to go to this one, E1 4E. Here we got stations. What's that? Handful. E1 4E. Alright, let's see how things are doing. Circuits might be doing better if we got all these iron trains sitting here. We only have one circuit train waiting. Still have 3 trains waiting for supplies for blue chips. This copper is doing pretty good, 300k average. This one, 200k average. So yeah, we're adding this copper facility has really helped us. That's a copper post. One of the things I also need to do is do more solar. Keep thinking I'd do that, and then I keep forgetting. Where is my guy at? I forget where I was heading. Oh yeah. Yeah, I took a picture of my my computer for people if people want to look at it.